So in this video, I'll be going over everything I know about the A143 Buzzard, both air-to-air and CAS. Let's start with CAS. Actually, let's start with air-to-air. So, you get in it, obviously, by scrolling and go to pilot. And thing to note before I start, I am using a track IR for better visibility, so the equivalent is using the Alt key and looking around just like that. But anyways, back to it. So you'll see in the top right, the weapon that this one has is the Gatling Cannon, the high explosive Gatling Cannon. It has anti-air or air-to-air long range and air-to-air short range. Simple as that. The other one's a bit more fun. So same thing, scroll wheel, get in. And you'll see that this one also has a high explosive Gatling cannon. It has air to ground, sorry I keep saying that, air to ground Skepal missiles, so you can lock on targets on the ground. It has 2 anti-air short range and 2 drop bombs. Let's see if we can see them. They're the ones in the center closest to the wheel, so you just drop those bombs on your enemy. And I'll hopefully demonstrate all of these. Maybe not the Gatling cannon, because that's kind of boring. Anyways, so to start it up, actually first thing you want to do, what am I doing? First thing you want to do is put your flaps down. That's the easiest way to take off, especially in a short runway. Then you're going to press Q. No, whatever it is pressed. So hopefully after this video you'll become more familiar with these jets and jets in general and be able to fly them properly. Alright, now you're going to hold Q. And I'm going to get past this just by pressing C and you'll churn. Let's pick up some speed. So with C and X I can turn left and right, left and right. It's probably the easiest way to taxi is what I'm doing. But as we take off, you see the flaps are down. At around of a speed of about 200, it'll just lift off automatically. Picks up speed and just lifts off. Then you're just going to put your gear up and put your flaps in. Okay. Now I have some targets over here somewhere. Hold on. Right over here. I'm gonna go to. And to do a simple churn, just move your mouse right, move your mouse left, or use A and D. And then to pitch, you hold, or you press W and then S, W, S. And for the mouse, I inverted it, so when I go up, it goes down. I pull back, it goes up. And a good traveling speed is around 400. Not sure why you would go any lower. But pretty soon we'll see some. Okay, so that green box, those green boxes, that means that there's a vehicle there. And as you'll see as we get closer, that vehicle isn't actually, yeah, you see, it's not actually on that box. It's actually below it. It's almost always below it. So you see the helicopter right there. Oh, I just locked on. You lock on by right-clicking. Hold right-click, and you can lock on, or you can just right-click. And that's how you'll lock on to targets. Let's see if I can do that. And how you're going to want to do it, you're not going to want to lock on to that green box that you see in the HUD, the pilot's HUD. You're actually going to want to lock on with that white crosshair directly on the vehicle like that. Should do anti-air. And you're not going to want to be far away when you shoot these either. You're going to want to be close like this. And it almost always hits. I'll go over more with that with the air-to-air pilot. But now I'll use the real purpose of this vehicle and attack this thing. So again, you're going to want to go directly on the vehicle, not on that green box. And I'll show you what happens if you shoot too far away. It'll just use countermeasures. Okay, that time it actually hit. But oftentimes when it uses countermeasures, obviously, like the missile won't hit, obviously. So, I tried to display that, but that AI was a piece of crap. And now for the GBUs, the drop bombs that you can see right there. Hopefully I'll get a good hit with these. These, I don't know any real tactic. You play with them enough, and you can hit things with them. So I think there's some infantry down here. I don't know, I'll aim for the smoke. Yeah, that was good. I'll drop the last bomb and then we can go in for a landing. As you can see, I use the track IR quite a bit. If you have the means, I recommend picking this up, but I'm not going to go and advertise it, but, you know, it's a good tool. So I see some, yeah, there's some infantry down there, so I'm going to see if we can hit them. I think I might have hit them. Whatever. But now we're going to RTB back here, put a marker there, and I'll see you when we're over there. So as we're coming in for a landing, something I almost always do is I hold right control and M at the same time, and I pull up my GPS. I almost always do that. It's so much easier to land with GPS open. So first thing you're going to want to do is slow your speed. A good closing in is, you know, about 400 or something. I got to start churning. Get as aligned with it as you can. As you see, I already did. Keep decreasing your speed by holding Z. That'll decrease thrust. Obviously, put your gear down. And if you want, you can put your flaps down. That'll just decrease your speed a little faster. And you're not going to want to go too much below 200 with this jet when you're closing in like this. So I usually stop around there. And then as I get really, really close, I'll decrease it even more. And I'll touch down. You want to pull up your nose as you touch down. And now I'm taxiing. A good taxiing speed is usually about 25 to 50 kilometers an hour probably. But screw that, we gotta get to the end of the runway. And then we'll go to the AA jet and show you a little air-to-air battle. Let's just break the law here. Try not to kill ourselves. Oh, and if you're wondering how I zoom in, you can either just right click, but that'll automatically lock on if it's your default, or you can just press on your numpad is what I've been doing. You can just press plus on your numpad and it'll zoom in. So let's get over here. There we go. Good landing. Successful service. Oh, and CAS. It stands for Close Air Support. I don't know if I said that already. I think I did. But now, time for anti-air. So get in the same way. Press Q. Turn on engines and whatnot. Wait for it to start up. Then hold Q. Oh, and put your flaps down. It'll be so much easier to take off. And in this one, I'm going to discuss turning at speeds, certain speeds. In a squeeze, you could probably pull up right now if your flaps are down, if you don't have very much runway. But ideally, you can just lift off. Put your flaps and gear up. Always put your flaps up in your gear. And we're gonna head over here. Alright, something I want to show you. So notice my speed. I'm going less than 300. So let's see what happens when I try to churn at less than 300 kilometers per hour. You see how it turned red? That means I'm stalling. That means I'm falling to the ground. You don't want that. You want to stay above the ground. That's probably a good idea in a jet. And the reason for that is because I was just going too slow. So I almost never try to go below a speed of 300 if I can. And I also try to not churn like a really sharp U-turn like that one, unless it's less than 400, or unless it's above 400. So don't churn at low speeds like 250, and try to stay above speeds, especially in like fights with other jets and stuff. Hopefully I can do, but I'm pretty sure there's a jet over here, unless I did it smaller or something. Let's see if I can shoot it out of the sky. Maybe use flares while dying. And not lag to death. Yeah, it always lags over here. Open my GPS, just cause. Yeah, there's a jet over there. At the top you can see your radar and you'll see a jet over there. I don't want him to get behind me, so I'm gonna try to get him. Oh, and another way you can lock on is by pressing tab, and it'll try to lock on to the nearest thing. Let's see if I can get him with AA. Oh, just, okay. Long range anti-air. Let's try it. Oh, that was a hit. Good. It's no fun. Let's get with these. That was a very dumb play on his part. You know, I'm gonna try to get him to lock on me. I could just finish him off right now, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna try to get him to lock on me so I can display the countermeasures. Come on, buddy, be smart. Don't be stupid. If your opponent's doing this, what do you do? A good tip with, there you go. There he goes. A good tip with dogfighting, or whatever you want to call this. Yeah, shooting at me. Don't let them get behind you, or it's really hard to get them off of you. As you could see that he was having a hard time getting me off him, and I probably have a hard time getting him off me, so just don't let them get behind you. That's the biggest no-no. I don't really dogfight with other jets very often. Yeah, there's a countermeasure. As you see the little X on the radar, I pressed G to fire countermeasures when it was pretty close to me. You don't want to do it right away or else it'll be useless. I did it right about where it hit on that radar, about where it hit that middle circle thing. That's usually where I do it. And countermeasures in this game are not the greatest. I'm just going to point that out right now. So I displayed that, so I don't see a reason why he has to stay alive anymore, right? See if I can get a hit from this far away. I don't think, yeah, he just uses countermeasures. But that's an example I was trying to make before, if you use lock-ons from too far away. Oh, and as you want to see, if you just want to lock on to him, he has to be in the center of your reticle. I'm trying to lock on. There he goes. He has to be right in the center, or else it's not going to lock on. You have to remember that. That's like the most important thing. You get closer, let's switch to this one. I think these go a little faster. I don't really know the difference between a short range and a long range, but he just screw that one. Okay, let's just finish him off nicely. Oh man. Oh man. Oh gosh. And that's what is physically there. Making it so I didn't die for some reason. Let's follow this. I think I shot the pilot out, wow. It's never happened to me before. That was pretty spectacular. So let's RTV in a broken down thing. And all the main points that I made, I'll put it down in the description so you can take a look down there and see if there's anything worthwhile. Actually, I'm going to land on the salt flats over here. So put your gear down, put your flaps down if you want some extra slowness, whatever. That's a pretty good. You can really land anywhere on these salt flats, it doesn't matter. But since I'm smoking, I can't land really hard. I'm going kind of slow. Can't land really hard, or else I might blow up. But you see the runway down there, if you even want to call it a runway. You slow, pull your nose up slightly. Make sure you don't stall on the landing. That's the thing that might happen if you have your flaps down. Then you just keep slowing down. Now I'm at a taxiing speed, so I can just turn if I want to. Simple. It's a bit beat up after I ran into it though. That was pretty foolish, but whatever. So yeah, that's how you fly jets. As much as I know, at least. I hope you guys learned something. It's fun making this video, so see you in the next video.